Hello, hello everyone. Thank you everyone for coming on. Thank you. It's going to be yet another great episode. In fact, I promised you earlier that today is going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. Welcome everyone. Thank you very much for coming on this program tonight. Amazing. I wish to see so I can see those coming along. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Jaya, official PW, thank you for coming. Fego, I cite you, thank you very much. Thank you for coming on this program. Nancy Salvation, thank you. I can't thank you enough. Thank you. Jai Yusufai, thank you for joining. Yeah, okay. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on this program tonight. So it's another episode of Let's Talk Music Ministry. Today, just to remind you, our conversation, our discourse today is chords and harmony and their alternative as it relates to song arrangements. That's what we are discussing today. And of course today, my guest is here. My guest is here with me. I'd like you to meet my guest. Welcome, my guest. Yes. Thank you very much. Jimmy,
thank you.
I'm so delighted to have you.
Thank you.
Yes. And on today's program, we've got some ladies, two ladies here, and of course a gentleman. Let me have the pleasure of introducing them too. To my left, just after Jimmy, is Mrs. Remy Jude.
Nice having you here.
You're welcome. I'm excited to have you. In fact, I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves. Next to Judy Bay, we've got a gentleman. Would you please?
I am Marcel Associate. Great pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And of course, very close to me by my side is another beautiful lady. Would you please introduce yourself? Thank you. I'd like to know, thank you, Nikki Despring. Thank you. I'd like to know our viewers, can you hear us very well? Thank you, Esther. I can cite you. Thank you for coming on this program tonight. Please let me know if you can hear me clearly. Please, can you hear me? Can somebody type to let me know that you can hear me? I want to be sure that you can hear me loud and clear. Can somebody hear me? Are we clear? Are we loud? Please somebody type and let me know. Be sure that you can hear me very well. Oh, okay. Thank you, Fego. Okay, Fego confirms that I'm heard loud and clear. Okay, beautiful. So let me introduce my guests. Let me formally introduce him. Today with me is Bolaho Olawaju. He hails from Ileife, Osun State, but was born in Ibadan. His educational background was also in Ibadan, Ogun, and Lagos State respectively. Having been exposed to music at the tender age of 4 at the Agodi Baptist Church Ibadan in the children's choir, unconsciously, he would usually find himself harmonizing to songs without any prior knowledge in the basics or rudiments of music. His first point of call in music was in percussion. To further develop and enhance this skill, the church sent him to the then Baptist Music Workshop, which has now been renamed Bowen University. Bowen University. He completed this training to the advanced drums. It was at this workshop he met with the maestro Dr. Pamileru, also known as K-Sticks. Amazing. Due to his innate love for music, he extended his dexterity to other instruments like the keyboard, bass guitar, and the talking drums. From here, the channel of music paved the way in his finances. Mr. Bolaho Olabaju was able to sustain his personal and educational journey through his gift and the skill of music. The turning point arrived when he was about to embark on his youth service corps, NYC. He watched a music video of a song titled "Arise" by renowned Israel Houghton. It was at this point he expressly heard from God that he would not do music just to be able to feed. To the glory of God, since then till now, God has shown himself faithful. Now we can roll the musical human dice and always find the value on every side. A songwriter, singer, bassist, keyboardist, drummer. About 16 years ago, he ventured into music directing. His last phase of music directing was at RCCG, Goshen Parish, Lekki. He is presently a risk credit professional in a microfinance bank. Mr. Bolaho Olabaju is happily married to Mrs. Fumi Olabaju, and their union is blessed with 2 beautiful daughters. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome my guests.
Thank you very much.
GB,
Thank you for having me. Good to meet you all.
so great to have you. So great. So, we have started. The conversation today, like I said earlier, is what discussing, looking at chords and harmonies and their alternatives. As we go into the program, you'll get to understand better what we mean. And that is in relation to song arrangement. Now, GB, without wasting time, you take the floor. I'd like to ask, I think it will be necessary that let's look at the importance, the topics, the issues. Talking about chords, let's know what is meant by chords, what's meant by harmony. I think it's a good place to start.
Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you for coming today. We're very sure that you're going to enjoy yourself. Okay, let me say this background. Basically, there are 3 elements in music. We have the melody, the harmony, and then the rhythm. So today, it means that we are focusing more on the first 2 parts, which is melody and harmony. Most places, if you're talking about melody is simply the singing some notes in succession in music. One note played in succession. So, okay, let's give, for example, we all know that song.
Yeah.
All things are working for my good. That is the melody of the song. So the melody gives the basis for whatever we want to do on it. So that is the melody of the song, which is notes played in different succession. That's melody. And then when you talk about harmony, you're actually referring to chords. When you talk about harmony, you are referring to chords. So chords, harmony is simply notes played in different ways. Notes played differently, apart from the melody. So if I'm going to go straight into what chords are, we're talking about the major triad. Triad 3, meaning 3 notes chords. And we're going to talk about that. We know our normal 1, 2, 3, 4 Roman numerals to 7, which is also do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So each of these notes forming our root notes, which you can say the melody. If you start from the first one, which is do, which is the root note. If you count the third note to it, if you are using Roman numerals, that will be 3. If you are using sulfur notes, that will be do, re, mi. Mi is the third. If you are using alphabets, starting from C, if C is your root note, is your melody, the third note, which is C, D, E becomes your middle note. So there's a rule, the rule of the major triad is wherever you are starting your home note from, your root note from, your melody from, you count 3 from there, that's your middle note. And then you count 5 from the home note again, that's your third, your 5th note. So you have 1, 3, and 5. That's how we arrive at do, mi, so. If you play it together, it's called blocked chord. That's chord 1 on major triad. If you play it together, that's chord 1. If you play it intermittently, it's called arpeggio. I can play. I'm still playing chord 1, but not in blocked chord. So we can do all of that for the same, for this do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. If we use the same rule, when C is our major note, is our melody, is our home note, is our root note. So you see that they use different words for it. They use root notes, they use melody, they use home notes. So
And also tonal center.
Tonal center. So you count 3 from it. 1, 2, 3. That's your third note. That's your middle note. You count 5 from there. That's your 5th note. So chord 1 is do, mi, so.
Okay. All right.
So if we move to making the number 2, which is re.
Okay.
If we move to making that our tonal center, if you do do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, and from your re, what will be your middle? Number 3, which will be re, mi, fa. So your third note on re will be fa. If you count 5 from re again, do, re, fa, sol, la. So chord 2 is re, fa, la on major triad.
Okay.
So
All
we
right.
have
Beautiful.
there are music that stays on just these 2 notes. Well, sorry, I might talk about some secular. There's this Fuji music that goes here, King Wasiwa Idemacha. It does here. That's just chord 1, chord 2, and they will use it to sing.
Okay.
Okay, so you see, we've done chord 1, we've done chord 2. If we move to the third note, which is me, and using that as our tonal center, as our home note, if you count 3 from there, you have. So if you count 5 from there, so chord 5 is, chord 3 is so T. 1, 2, so T. Then you go to chord 4. If you use that as far as your home note, you move on, you count 3 from there. That's your middle note, your third note. Okay. So we have. So if we do the same thing for the other 3 or 4, we'll have.
Okay.
So this is major triad. There are different chords. It's very complicated.
Beautiful.
I want us to learn this basic.
Beautiful.
So what we do in most of our churches is we do triad. We do 3-part harmony.
Yeah.
So it means if your keyboardist is on chord 1, whatever the backups are singing, 3-part harmony must be on this. That's the rule. Let's use any song. We can use any song. So, for example, the one we started with. If I'm going to play the third, remember I'm on mi. The third of mi is so.
Yes.
So, what the first harmony will be? Can you see? So that's why you see your keyboardist will say, I'm on chord 1. Let's say the chord that they are playing for that place is chord 1. Whatever you want to sing must fall around this, except do mi so, which is chord 1, except your keyboardist or your music producer or something wants to use different avenue.
Okay.
Then one very quick trick for that is, if you are scoring a song or you are writing a harmony, just know that the highest note,
okay,
is what soprano must sing.
Okay.
The highest tonal note, the highest pitch. So if I'm on chord 1, this is, which one is the highest pitch here? Is this song? That's what soprano must sing.
Okay.
Followed by alto, followed by tenor.
Okay, so let's get our viewers to understand this. Looking at the do chord, for instance, what we have there that make up the do chord, like you have said, do mi so, right?
Yes, 1, 3, and 5.
1, 3, and 5, which do mi so. So to determine what soprano sings, to determine what alto sings,
Yes.
to determine what tenor sings. There is a rule, there's a
Yes.
principle, that's what you're saying.
Yes.
Because I've had to, I remember there are those who just think that, they decide, they just pick anything from these 3. They are aware of the 3 notes, the triad, which make up the chord. But they could just go ahead and decide, okay, you take this, you take this. But which means, from what you just said, there is a rule, there's a principle that we have to work with. Okay, so yes, go ahead and emphasize on that more.
Okay, so we've talked about chords. I think I've mentioned progression in passing. Progression simply means chords played in succession. Generally, we call 1, 4, and 5 the major chords. which is do, mi, so, fa, la, do, so, ti, re. Those are major chords. In major music in the world, you are going to find these major chords. Then the other ones that is what you want to call secondary chords. Those ones are 2, 3, and 5. So 2, 3, and 6 rather. Yeah. 2, 3, and 6. Those are secondary chords. You don't find it in most music. Okay. You don't find it in most music. Let me give you like primary chords. 1, 4, 5. So which song is this?
Yeah, just a moment. I'd like to acknowledge more persons who are joining us. Thank you. I appreciate you. Jenny's Delights Foods. Thank you for coming on this program. I cite you, Emmanuel Archibald. Oh goodness, this is my neighbor. Amazing. Good to have you on this show. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'd like to appreciate everyone who has come on this program. Okay, yeah, Jimmy, go ahead.
So I'm giving us examples of primary chords, which I said is 1, 4, and 5. So if we remember this song, which song is that? Storm is over now. We all know the song. There's the same chord flow that is for our general Igbo flow here. Oh yeah, name man, Chineke idima. The same 1, 4, 5.
Okay.
So it's found in majority of music. That's why it's primary chords. Okay, so that will now take us to understanding how you are going to arrange your songs. Why will soprano sing this? Why will alto sing this? Why will tenor sing this? You must understand chords, which we have established, the major triad. You must understand progressions. Like I said, this is 1, 4, 5. So anything I want to sing on this is do. The highest pitch here, like I said, is what soprano will sing. Okay. Which is so.
So can we have those in the house and try it? Let's see how that goes.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's have the just sing melody, everybody. Storm is over now. I can see the sunshine.
Somewhere beyond the clouds.
I can feel heaven.
Heaven is over me.
So come on, set me free. Yeah, they went to 6. Yeah, they went to 6. So if we're on again, remember you must know the melody of the song. So we're on key the chord 1, and the melody is. So here, let me have tenor sing. Storm is over now, because we're on chord 1, and tenor is singing. What is the third? No, what's the third of do that we did on chord 1? That will be mi. Yes. So if since we are coming from down from tenor, the next to that will be mid, alto. Alto is always mid. Alto is always mid, but in this case, mid up, not mid down. So when tenor is singing, remember this is now looking like chord 1, chord 2, chord 3.
Okay, yeah. What you just played now.
What I just played because of the melody.
Yeah.
So it means if tenor is singing based on chord 1,
Yeah.
alto will sing. So because the rule is the rule could be looking at, but if you do it that way, the chord has already moved to a fifth.
Okay.
So it will now be because it has moved from 1, 4, 5.
Okay, I'd like you to hold on because I'd like you to hold on that. We'll be talking about that when we get to alternatives.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'd like you to just hold your thought on that.
Okay.
Yeah, let's establish what you were saying. The melody, you've given the melody.
So if the melody is tenor, alto will sing, soprano will sing. So let's sing melody first, and then we'll move to harmony.
Okay.
What we've done. Storm is over now. I can see the sunshine.
Somewhere beyond the clouds,
I can feel heaven.
heaven is over me.
So come on, set me free. Storm is over. 3 parts. Go.
Storm is over now. Somewhere beyond the clouds,
I can feel heaven.
heaven is over me.
Melody. Come on, set me free. So you see, if I decide, we will now move to what is called inversions. Inversions will now depend on the key you are using, the pitch of the people you are working with.
Okay. Beautiful, beautiful.
You understand? So in this, we are still on the normal. So soprano singing the so. Alto for tenor. So if we decide to, it's called inversion. Inversion, first inversion. There are 3 inversions, but 2 is most common. Inversion 1 simply means bringing your root note to the octave.
Juby, hold your thoughts. Let me also recognize more persons who have joined us. Thank you very much. Thank you. I cite you, Ayo Adelaja. Thank you very much. I cite you, Kike Lomo Akandeo Olatoye. Yeah, thank you for joining. Bumi Fafi, I cite you also. Thank you for staying with us on this program. Viewers, I hope that you are grasping a thing or two. So we can go ahead here after this and apply what we're doing in our choirs. We need to make a beautiful music in our choir. We need to do it right the way it's meant to be. Okay, yeah, Jimmy, please go ahead.
So I was talking about inversions. So based on the key you're working with, based on the pitch of your singers, you now determine which inversion to use. So I can be on chord 1 and on inversion 1. What it simply means is that my root note, my melody that I used to build the chord, I'm going to move it from number 1 and move it to the octave. Okay. It's still chord 1, but it will no longer be. It will start with my third, okay, which is.
GB, if we can get this in a very simple term, what you're saying is that inversion what simply happens there is that your lowest note becomes your highest note.
Yes.
I think that's a simpler way. Okay.
Yes.
So you want to invert. It means that your lowest note moves up to become your highest note.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's what
Okay.
I'm saying. So
Okay.
in practical terms, let's say we're going to practicalize it. For the
Okay.
3 people singing, but I'm going to change the key. I'm going to change the key because or let's use the same key. So instead of having being sung by tenor,
Okay.
I now move it to alto. What is simply what in practical terms, if you have, remember I said soprano sings the highest note, which is sol. And inversion means the person doing do will move to mi.
Okay.
The person doing mi before will move to sol.
Okay.
Soprano doing sol before will move to do, which is the octave.
Okay.
Let's not mix it up.
Okay.
In the rule of chords, inversion 1 simply means your root note,
Okay.
which is your first note, goes to the octave.
Okay.
It doesn't mean the person that was singing root notes before
We'll now start to
will now
sing
start
that.
to sing it on the octave. No.
Okay. Beautiful. Okay.
But the chord, instead of sounding like this, it will start sounding like this. You see that it makes it brighter, colorful.
Yeah.
So when the choir is singing and you feel it's sounding low, the first trick before you think of modulation, if we know modulation, changing of keys,
Okay.
higher.
Yes.
Modulation. Instead of modulation, you can invert.
Yeah.
It makes the song
Brighter.
brighter.
Okay.
So it's like I've been playing, and all of a sudden I start playing. That is inversion 1, meaning do, mi, sol. It moves to mi, sol, do.
Okay.
And then inversion 2 simply means my root notes and my middle notes, I move them to the octave.
Okay.
That's inversion 2. So it means instead of inversion 1 is, inversion 2 will be,
Okay.
do you understand? So let's practicalize the inversion 1. You know, tenor was singing the lowest note before. Like I said, in practical terms, when tenor takes now it's going to move to the next higher harmony, which is alto.
Just sorry to interrupt. I'd like to recognize more persons who have joined us. Gloria, thank you very much. Mavi, I cite you. Susan Olushola, thank you for joining us. Thank you, we appreciate you. Thank you very much. Yes, Jimmy, go ahead.
Okay, so I was saying, if we're on chord 1 and someone is singing, and we assign that to tenor, being the lowest harmony, being the melody, right? The first harmony, based on the rules of chords that we've explained, will be, which was given to the next higher harmony after melody, which is alto. Then the next higher one, which is given to soprano. So in the rule of inversion, we want to try and make the song brighter, happier. So what we do is, the person singing the first harmony on the triad, which can also be called the melody. Sometimes your melody can be on that octave. Okay? It could be your melody. So let's not confuse melody sometimes with the root note of the chord.
Okay.
But in this case, the root note of the chord is the melody. And then from that, the person singing it will move to the second higher, the next higher harmony, which is. Then the person singing will move to what soprano was singing, what the highest note was singing before.
Now, Jimmy, let me take this from you. Now, I've been to some choir. I've heard, people make such expression. No, this is how soprano sounds. This is how. It is soprano that sounds this way. I don't know if you've heard such. I mean, you get to some choir, they argue this. They say, no. This is how soprano sounds. So is that really a particular way? Because from what you're explaining, it means that parts can move.
Yes.
It can move. It can move. So there is a yes. Could you shed more light on that?
Okay. Number one, if you are fond of saying I'm an alto singer, I'm a soprano singer, you might not be totally wrong, but most parts you're wrong, because being a soprano is talking about a voice range. A pitch on the keyboard you can sing conveniently.
Beautiful.
So it's your keyboardist or your music producer or the music director that can actually do some tests for you on the keyboard and ask you to sound some notes. The range of notes you can sound, let's say from C2, let's say this is C2 to C3. Let's say you are able to sound, and you are able to sound conveniently.
Yeah.
There is a rule to that. So
Yeah.
depending on the range you are able to sound,
Yeah.
will now determine, excuse me, if you are a soprano singer or an alto singer.
Yeah.
Remember, I said when you are doing harmony in the choir, it depends on the key you are working with, and then the pitch of the singers you are working with. That's why you see some singers, some songs, say all this black gospel.
Yeah.
It's actually done on a different key. But if you ask the choir to do it on that same key, they are going to be screaming. Because the average range of people in that choir cannot take that range.
Yeah.
So it's either you invert all the harmonies, which will not be too okay. Sometimes you now change the key to suit the lead singer. So let's practicalize the inversion.
Okay.
So if you generally say I'm a soprano singer, there's a way soprano sounds. That's very wrong. A very good singer must be able to sing any harmony.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Any note on the triad. So if let's say on this key, I'm singing storm is over now. I should be able to sing storm is over now. I should be able to sing storm is over now. I've sung the three harmonies.
Yeah.
So depending on how bright, as a music director, I want the song to sound, I will now determine I want tenor to sing this.
Okay.
One good person that I have learned from over the years, my major mentor in music, is Ken Franklin. Go and listen to his music, his chords. What he does is, he does an inversion. And most times he makes tenor to sing melody. So it's always very sweet when you have soprano range singers able to sing harmonies on the octave. It's very sweet. It's very sweet. So that's one challenge for majority of our soprano singers. They feel it's just to be able to sound that pitch.
Yeah.
Sound this over now, for example. But being able to sound the pitch and know the correct notes to use and sit on those notes. So let's quickly do inversion 1.
Just a moment. Abi Moru, thank you for joining us. Abi Moru, aside you, Shining Star, thank you. We appreciate you for coming on tonight's program. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so let's just do it. The same harmony we did before.
Okay.
Let's move to the octave. Let's move to inversion 1. Inversion 1. Let's do inversion 1 then. So you were doing, Senna was singing, storm is over now.
Jimmy, can we give consideration to our viewers, those who are at home?
Okay.
Can you strike the chord and then let's see if they are participating. Let's get them to participate. Strike the chord, or if maybe do the arpeggio, so that we can ask. Yes. Beautiful.
So on
Now,
chord
from
1.
what we have said on chord 1, our viewers, I'd like you to type, and then so let's see how much you are following us. From what he has played on chord 1, what would soprano sing? What notes would be soprano? Yes, could you do that? Yes, could you do that very fast? What notes would soprano? What notes would soprano sound? Okay. What notes would alto sound? Which is the highest note? And what notes would the tenor sound? Would like to see that. Thank you very much, Yemisi Bello. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Yes. I'm glad you find it interesting. Oh, okay. Yeah, we got a response.
Okay.
Yes, we got a response. Susan Olushola says, "Oh, beautiful, beautiful." So that means we are following. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, somebody is already giving it up there. It's giving everything. Thank you. Beautiful. That means we are following.
Yes.
So, Jimmy, beautiful. Shoot on.
Okay.
Our viewers are following.
Yes, good. Okay, so chord 1 on the same song, inversion 1. So it simply means tenor was singing, we'll move to, and alto will move to, and you move to the soprano. Okay, so let's go. The inversion, no, so okay, from your normal, storm is over now, storm is over now, storm is over now. We'll finish it, then we'll move to the inversion 1. Okay. Storm is over,
Storm is over now.
I can see the sunshine.
Somewhere beyond the clouds.
You listen first. I see heaven.
Heaven is over me.
Come on, set me free. First harmony. Storm is over.
Storm is over now.
I see sunshine.
Somewhere beyond the clouds.
I feel heaven.
Heaven is over me.
Come on, set me free. Inversion 1. Storm is over.
Storm is over now.
I see sunshine.
Somewhere beyond the clouds.
I feel heaven, yeah.
Heaven is over me.
Melody. Come on, set me free. You will all agree with us that the second one sounded brighter. So most of the time, inversions are also used to enter the vamp. The inversions are used to enter the vamp or towards the ending of the song. So in terms of if you are a keyboard player, when you are playing your chords, you can play it on the same octave using inversions. So we've done the voices. If I want to play 1-4-5, instead of playing instead of playing I will play the subnormal do mi so,
Okay.
which is chord 1. Then instead of playing falado,
Okay.
I'm going to play the third inversion,
Okay.
which will be do fala. So I'll play instead of playing sol, ti, re on the octave, I will play the third inversion, which is re, sol, ti.
And you know that it gives a lot of distance in moving
Yes.
the other way.
So if I'm playing the keyboard, I'm playing. I can even play ti, re, sol. Not.
So attached, yeah, so disconnected.
You understand? So
Yeah.
inversions, like I said, make songs sound brighter it makes things easier for you if you are a keyboardist.
Wow,
and all of
wow, wow, wow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jimmy. Amazing, amazing. I want to believe that our viewers are finding this very interesting. Very interesting. You know, it's always amazing how our time, elapses so fast. We've got just 15 minutes more.
Wow.
15 minutes more. We never want to keep our viewers beyond. We never want this program to go beyond 1 hour. So we've just got about 15 more minutes. So let's talk about the next thing I'd like us to talk. The alternatives. Alternatives. Yeah. The different chords you could use for a particular lyrics. Maybe you could do a demonstration. What are chords? For instance, I'm singing my do,
Yes.
okay, my chord 1 on a particular lyrics. Is there or are there other chords alternatively I could use, instead of using that? I think that would help during arrangement to, bring a kind of variety in your singing, so we don't sound. I'd like you to talk about that. Yes.
Okay, so in terms of arrangements and having varieties, that means we'll have to understand chords as we have been explaining, and then progressions. Let me give you an example. This song that I released some time ago, it was a theme song, I think 2019 theme song for the Citadel Global Community Church. Those bountiful blessings are for me, for you and for me, oh, oh, oh. Those bountiful blessings are for me, today and forever, oh, oh.
Okay.
So that's basically those bountiful blessings, chord 1,
Okay.
are for me, 3,
Okay.
for you and for me, oh, 2,
Okay.
oh, oh, 5.
All right.
Like that. So I could change it to, we eventually change it to, those bountiful blessings are for me, for
Okay.
you and for me, oh,
Wonderful. Okay.
oh, those bountiful blessings are for me, today and forever, oh, some people will say, oh, this chord is sweeter.
Sweeter. Okay.
No. It's in the application. It's in what you want to say. But generally, minor chords, minor, which is 7, which is 6th. Yeah. Minor chords are the word generally used is it's sober. It's sober. That's why if you are a writer of songs or you sing generally, you sing that worship songs that make you get in quotes into the spirit faster are on the minor chords, because it's a reflective chord. If you do,
Oh goodness.
those, it makes you you feel sleepy. Okay, so what we simply did was, instead of doing
Yes.
1,
That's important. I
those
like
bountiful
it. Good.
blessings, instead of doing do, we did la.
Wow. So la could be an alternative chord for do.
Okay, so let me explain it this way. This is the way I understand it. If there is we have notes which are root notes, and then we have other notes that may be 3rd or 5th. So, like let's say do now, we have those bountiful blessings, we are landing on a do, okay? If we take that note, that do, all the chords that we have, the major triad, where we have do in do, re, so, chord 1.
Yes.
We have do in chord 4. For la do,
Yeah.
in chord 1, do is the first note, the home note.
Yeah.
In chord 4, do is the 5th note.
Okay.
And then in minor 6th, la do mi, do is the 3rd.
Okay.
So meaning anywhere I have chord 1 on do, I can invert it, I can substitute it for a chord 4.
Okay.
So that means any song I'm singing, today and forever, oh, I can end my song that way. Yeah? Instead of on do,
Okay.
it's still a substitute.
Yeah. Okay.
But there are other notes that will be played by the keyboardists or instrumentalists to be an alternative to make it complete.
Oh.
That is another,
Oh.
because we have 3 versions, like I said. There is a 7. There is a 7.
Okay.
So you see people, 7 simply means we do, you know, we've talked about major triad. We did 1, 3, 5.
Yeah.
There's a 7 which is T. That's also a chord. That is 7th chord. So that is used in most 4-note chord. But let's not go into all of that. But I'm saying, so I'm on chord 1 because there is do on chord 1, and the melody I'm singing is on do. I can alternate it for a do on chord 4 or a do on chord 6. You see that I'm still sounding the same do.
Yeah.
So that was why we were able to do just bountiful blessings and change it to just bountiful blessings.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just bountiful blessings. And for me, we change it to me. We change it to just bountiful blessings. Re, we now went to the major of Re. Second, you know, is Re Fala minor. Re Fila is major. You know, so that is the alternatives music producers know that they can put different chords. So let's use an example, a general song. Also, alternatives that we have is, the second alternative is tweaking the melody.
Okay.
You can tweak the melody. When you see contemporary songs, most of the time, they do some contemporary songs so that the melody is staying on one note majorly. So if I do a melody and I'm staying on one note, I can alternate it with a whole lot of things.
Okay.
I can alternate it with a do mi so. I can alternate it with a do fa la. I can alternate it with a do mi la. And if I go to the 7th, I can even alternate it with a third, a second, which the 7th note is do, but the second note is re, fa, la.
What you're saying, does it apply to a song like "We lift your hands in the sand"? You know.
So no.
Okay.
So playing. So what they did was do re do ti do. But the block chords they were playing.
Yeah. Okay.
You understand? So, but let me look for a vamp. It's mostly used in vamps.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. Stay with us. HRN Ade Olaf. Thank you for joining us. I'm so grateful that you are here. Thank you, HRN. Thank you for joining us. Wow, we have just 7 minutes to go.
Let me
so-
round up with this second part. Or
Okay,
let me say,
beautiful.
let me do this second part. You talked about alternatives.
Yes.
We've talked about alternative, which is knowing the own notes that you are working with, the melody you are working with. So if the major notes there, for example, let's say what you are working with, we'll use the first example of do. There is do in chord 1 as the root note. There is do in chord 4 as 5th note.
Okay.
There is do in chord 6
Okay.
as the 3rd note. So I can alternate chord 1 with, if my melody is this do, I can alternate it with a do mi so. I can do a do fa la, which is 4, and I can do a do mi la, which is 6.
Beautiful.
That is
Beautiful.
if we use the same thing with me. Which notes do we have me? We have me in chord 1 as 3rd.
Yes.
We have in chord 3.
Yes, we have.
We have in, and then we have in. So wherever, if my own note is me, I can alternate it with a 1. I can alternate it with a 3. And I can alternate it with a 6. So let's now move to the second one. The second one is tweaking the melody. Look at this example. We all know this song. Jehovah, you are the most high. I'm not even used to that chord again. You are the most high God. You are the most high God. But Triad did it and changed the melody. Okay. Triad changed it from re do. He changed it to so mi do la 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 do ti 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 re do instead of ti 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 mi re do. You understand? So if we are doing Jehovah, you are the most high. You are the most high God. Jehovah, you are the most high. You are the most high God. That's an example of our primary chord doing 1 4 1 5. But changing it to Jehovah, he went to 4 straight. You are the most high. You are the most high God. 4 6 5 1. 4 6 5 1. I was able to do it. Jehovah, you are. You remember that? You are. Melody is la 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 do. In La, where do we have La? We have La in 2, Re, Fa, La, and the fifth note. Okay. We have La in 4, in Fa, La, Do. We also have La in 6, La, Do, Mi. So, Mi, Re, Do, La, 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 La. So they decided to go for the 4th. You are the most high. So instead of the using Do, Mi, So, because they are on Do, they now went to La 6. So that's why you have. So even with the Jehovah, you are the most high. You are the most high God. We can still do the normal 1 4 5. But because of tweaking the melody, they were able to do 4 6 5. So let's practicalize it and you hear you can feel the difference. So sing Jehovah, sing you are the most high, 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 you are the most high God. So you remember sometimes when you're directing music and you're telling them no, you're not supposed to sing so there, you're supposed to sing loud because of the keyboardist. This is where it comes in. So let's do the normal 1 4 5. So sing, you just sing. You are the most high. You are the most high God. Okay. So do the. You are the most high. You are the most high God. You are the most high. You are the most high God. You are the most high. We're used to the sweet one. Okay, so you are the most high God. So let's move to the second one. Let's do you are the most high. You are the most high God. This time put some dynamics. You are the most high. You are the most high God. So you sing. You are the most high. You are the most high God. You are the most high God. You are the most high. You are the most high God. So you sing. You are the most high. You are the most high God. Jehovah. You are the most high. You are the most high God. Jehovah. You are the most high. You running some scales. You can do Jehovah, you are the most high. Just stay on your dome, and they will sing Jehovah, you are the most high.
Okay.
You are the most high God. You are the most high. You are the two of you just maintain what you were singing. But by the time you are landing, you are going to land on a ray. But like I told you, it's on a resorting chord. Sorry. You are the most high. You are the most high. We're on Milado.
Wow. Wow. I wish
There's
we had
so much. There is so much.
I wish we had all the time. We've got to keep to our time. We don't want to keep our viewers. I'm sure viewers at home, I'm sure you wished we had more time to do more. This is a practical one. But I want to believe we've learned a lot today. I wish to thank you all. We can't exceed this time. It's 1 hour already. Thank you everyone who joined on this program. Elewa, thank you. Yomisi Bello, Susan, thank you. Jonis, thank you. Thank you everyone. I can't mention everyone, but thank you for being with us tonight. You have made the program a beautiful one. I'd like to get a response from you, your comments, and of course those who will be watching this program after now. Let's have your response. But from all of us here in the studio, it's good night and God bless you. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank you, Jimmy.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much for my guest for today. I'd like to thank you, Remy. Remy, thank you very much. Marcel, I'd like to appreciate you. And of course, Queen, thank you very much. Good night.